I have graduated at the top of my class, at the tip top of the school, part of the 1% that got a lot of medals. You can already see that here. You see that handsome man? That's me. A lot of medals, right? Well, also, doing fighting. Not professionally. No, I'm not that good. To be honest, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not that good. But I balanced it while achieving a lot of the things that many people didn't achieve. So, how did I do it? It's very simple, actually. I, in the course of this video, there are three things that are very important, which is number one, sleep, number two is the routine, and then number three is a surprise. Number one, let's talk about sleep first. There's an alarm in my cell phone that rings every 8:40, okay? And my alarm, it says, prepare tomorrow today, which basically means that, well, prepare tomorrow for today. List all of the things that you will do tomorrow, right now. And then at 9, I'll sleep while watching Kızgazad. And, well, side point, okay, if you are, if you need sounds to sleep, try and turn on these science shows, science podcasts who have a deep voice and very calming, like Kurzgesagt, or maybe philosophy if you want some. You'll learn a lot while also, well, being asleep. Anyways, I digress. If you want to fix your sleep schedule now, there's only really three things that you can do. One is sleep earlier, two is, well, wake up earlier, and three is wake up and don't go to bed. Just go to bed the following day at like 9 or 8, whenever you want. I don't recommend that, although I did it. Why do you want to sleep at 9 p.m.? The reason why, the very big reason why you want to sleep at 9 p.m. is that time is built differently, significantly different. What do I mean by that? There are times where you will be more productive, and then there are times when you'll be less productive in a day. Do you get what I mean? And for 99.999% of people, the most productive times are in the morning or at noon, not, in the middle. It's biologically proven, right? Because in the morning, you hunt, 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 and then after you hunt, you eat, and then 1, and then 12 to 1, you usually feel tired, and then at night, you'll also be more aware, etc., etc. And so I use that principle when I was doing a lot of things, achieving monumental stuff. I use that principle a lot. And it relates a lot to our society. Why? Because at 4 a.m. is when you do a lot of the deep stuff. Because at 4 a.m., nobody is awake at 4 a.m. Nobody's awake, I'm telling you, nobody's awake. And you can do a lot of things. A lot of things that you won't have any distractions with. Like deep work, doing YouTube, exercising, studying, right? And do that as soon as you wake up. The reason why, I'll tell you later. And sleeping at 9 p.m. also prevents a lot of negative things from happening. You know, most of the negative things that happen at night, right? Robberies, fucking getting caught up in gangs, fucking getting a girl pregnant, especially in my region, in the Philippines Payatas region, because it is infested with a lot of gangs. People are addicted to drugs, a lot of alcoholics, and even in the fucking middle of the day, man. That's why I didn't want to go out, or as much as possible, I prevented myself from going out later than 9 p.m. In America now, you can, I mean, you can also do this in the Philippines, but in America, what I see is a lot of people partying at night. So in partying, there's a lot of consequences as well, which is you can get a girl pregnant, which is you can drive drunk and then crash your car and then die. You can. This is the most likely answer, which is you may be you'll sleep at 5 a.m. and then wake up 3 p.m. and then the day is gone. The productive day that you should be having is now not there. I needed those extra hours in the day to achieve because, of course, at later in the day there's school, right? So I need that shit to exercise, prepare all the things. So what I usually do is wake up, go downstairs, get my coffee, exercise. For 99% of people, the most productive hours are in the morning, while for, the 1%, the most productive hours are later in the day, at night. Those are the night owls, right? And I, it's just not me. But you should still do it as much as you want, right? You just have to experiment with what works best for you. I'm just saying that this is what works best for me. And this is probably what's best for 99.99% of young men. Why does the military why do 7% of men that joined the military think that it was so good? Because they thought that, well, it gave structure to their lives. That's it. So you have to make a drastic change for this shit to work. Well, how do I sleep soundly? I can't seem to turn my brain off. Well, that's where exercise comes in perfectly nice. Comes in perfectly nice because what you're doing in a day dictates how you're going to sleep at night. If I exercise 2 times a day, I'm going to sleep very soundly at night as compared to when I didn't sleep or when I didn't exercise or when I didn't exercise, right? When I just scrolled, I just did nothing, and I'm telling you this because these habits compound. Do you get me now? These habits compound because if you exercise, if you train hard, if you fight at the day, then you'll sleep better at night, and then you'll wake up at 4 a.m. and then you'll do it over again. That's how these habits multiply. How these habits stack up on top of each other. Well, that's why I think that exercise is a cornerstone habit for success. I made a video about that. Go check it out. And if you exercise, you'll feel more tired, in which you'll have better sleep for tomorrow. Keyword is tomorrow, right? Because you won't reap all of the benefits that you have today. You won't reap all of your hard work today, right? You just won't. You'll suffer today and suffer today and suffer today, and maybe, just maybe, if you stick at it for long enough, you won't be suffering. You'll actually reap all of the benefits that you have when you suffered. Like these medals right here. These are, man, these medals are my fucking pride and joy. You are my babies, man. It signifies how much I've suffered tremendously, right? So every day you wake up as a different person. And sleep is a big part of it, right? Because There are times when you'll be more productive than usual, you'll feel better than usual, and there are times when you just won't want to do anything anymore, right? You just want to scroll, do hedonistic things, drugs, maybe alcohol, maybe cigarettes, vape. If you're a fucking pussy. There are times, yes. There will be times like that. But that's correlated to how you spent your night, right? Did you spend your night playing games? That's what I did. I love playing games. Or at least I loved, yeah, past tense. Because now I'm just not doing it. I'm just not doing it anymore. I'm more focused right now. Did you spend your night partying? Did you spend your night drinking alcohol? Did you spend your night doing all of these things? Or perhaps you partied all night and you woke up at 3 p.m. Why? Because you spent your night doing it, right? I'm telling you guys, there were a lot of times like that, man. There were a lot of times when I didn't want to wake up at 4 a.m. When I just looked at it, even today, man. I'm gonna be honest with you, even today, I didn't wake up at 4 a.m. Why? Because I slept at 11 p.m. today, actually. You know, I'm not a god or anything. I slip up a lot, actually. I slip up very much. But I just know how to, you know, I slip up and then I know how to cover my slip ups with more hard work. Why did I wake up or why was I up until 11? It's because yesterday I woke up at 4 a.m. Actually, I woke up at 4 a.m. I forced myself and then I got a headache the whole day. I did woke up 4 a.m., got a headache, and then I worked. I edited the thing, posted it, and then after you know what I mean. And then after that, you're of course you're not going to feel productive with a headache and an unmotivated penis. And so after that, 6 hours went by, slept 10 to 2, and then 11. I woke up. 11, I slept. I didn't do shit. Like if you're behind on schoolworks, people are looking for you for leadership, you're proposing all of these projects, you exercise, sleep becomes so easy if you're busy, right? If you're busy, keyword. Now let's cover the second thing, which is routine. Okay, this is my routine, and I followed it no matter how I felt. I mean, there were times that I slip up. Yes, of course. But doesn't everybody? It's just if you slip up, how can you, you know, make up for it for the slip up? But this was my routine most of the time. 4 a.m., wake up, go downstairs, make coffee, exercise for an hour and 30. 6 a.m., go to school, and then at school 7 to 1:40, I was at school, right? Then 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. I would either edit, pad work, film, schoolwork. And then 6 p.m. I would eat, and 6:30 to 8:40 I would relax. 8:40 I would write down all of the things that I was supposed to do tomorrow. And then I watched Kurzgesagt, and then I'd fall asleep. And it was a very good time of my life. It was hard, yeah, but of course, you don't judge a sword by the flames that made it, right? You judge the sword for how pointy and how sharp it is. And that was my routine that helped me achieve all of these medals while also maintaining the skills that I have for fighting, because I was already pad work for Taekwondo. Yeah, a lot of things. But Sundays and Thursdays was different because the 2 to 5 I was training whole Taekwondo because 2 to 5 there was a session for Taekwondo. Of course, I was training for Taekwondo as well. That was the fight that I'm referring to. Sundays it was like that as well, but I didn't really have any schoolworks because I've already done it by the time Sunday arrives, right? This was a very important part of my scholastic and athletic journey. Success. Monumental success. It really is. Because it gave me structure, right? It gave me a lot of structure. I didn't have to think about what I should do in the tomorrow. I just knew that, okay, by this time I'm going to do this time I'm going to do this time I'm going to do this, boom, 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 boom. And even the exercises, man. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, it was push-pull legs at the start. And then while the school year was ending, it was every day. Monday chest, Tuesday back by, and then Wednesday legs, and then Thursday chest, Friday back by, Saturday legs, right? That was the thing. I was only eating once a day, man. And it pushed me to the brink, completely, completely to the brink. And looking back on it now, it was very hard. But I love my hard times, man. Because there were times when everything was coming to me, was coming to pressure me, right? Every single thing. Like schoolworks are a thing. There were times when I missed an important deadline. There were times when teachers yelled at me. There were times when my other advisor, fucking had a lot of things to say. There were times when my leadership was required a lot, and there were a there was a time when my teacher embarrassed me in front of the whole school, man, and I just wanted to like off myself. And the story was this. I was charging my phone in the school. Teacher walked in, saw my phone charging in the school, and then asked, "Well, who's charging the phone?" Of course, I said me, and then made me walk in front of the classroom, back, and then said that, "Huh, do you know that charging in front of the school costs a lot of money?" Like, motherfucker, it doesn't. Anyways, made me fucking say sorry to all of these people that at the time I wasn't even close with. Made me say sorry, and then yes, I said sorry, of course. And what's the thing that hurt me the most in this is that these motherfuckers were also charging their phone at the school. Like, fuck me. And then after that, another teacher said that, "Oh, why are you why are you fucking yelling at him? He's the leader, And he said, "Oh, because he was charging his phone. Did you know that if you charge your phone, you should pay 5,000 pesos?" Motherfucker, 5,000? Really? 5,000? Just to charge a phone for 30 minutes? Are you serious right now? Yeah, I know that's a bluff. I very much know that's a bluff. And it shouldn't really matter to me. And it doesn't. But at the time, it fucking blew me, man. My armor was tough, but you know that you have a tough armor, and then there's a slit in here, and then there's an arrow that goes to here. That's basically how I felt. Because I had a lot of pressure at the time. I had a lot of pressure at the time. And so I went back home. I scrolled on my phone because I wasn't feeling that good. I was thinking about what he said, how I felt, how I got humiliated at these motherfuckers, right? In front of these motherfuckers. I changed I was laying down here, right? And then I got up. I sat in front of the mirror. I looked down, I looked up, and I said, maybe I should just kill myself, right? And then I felt a devil just starting to creep up beside me. And I think that, nah, motherfucker, this is not a good idea. I need someone to talk to about this. Anyways, I rode on my e-bike, went to my friend's house. Friend wasn't there. Went back, saw the church, went to the church. After the mass, I felt good, I felt relieved, and I was ready to take on the day. So that's just an example of how hard times will shape you to be who you are today. I didn't cry. I didn't see the point in crying. I just thought that this motherfucker, I wanna fucking beat. The problem wasn't that I got humiliated, to be honest. The problem wasn't what he said, it's just that everything compounded. Everything compounded. Because the motherfucker was always yelling at me. This teacher was always yelling at me. Like, oh, you're the president. You should be at the top of your class. You should be controlling every single one. Why are you like when there's even a slight noise? He said that. Oh, you should control your president of the school. And motherfucker, if I controlled the class, then what would be the reason for the president of the class? My decisions were at school, at the whole school, not just in the classroom. Oh God, some people, man, some people. I'm telling you this, but because your brain may be telling you to give up, to take the easy way out, as mine did, but don't let it consume you, right? Don't let it consume you. Never let it consume you. I know a friend that let it consume him, and he's not in a better place right now. I don't believe it. And also, you should push through it, no matter how hard it gets. Put your faith in God a little, man. But let's dive into more practical things, right? A routine makes your day a lot more predictable, which is great if you want to be successful in every single field, not just in school, not just in athletics, but in business, in socializing, in things like that. It makes you a predictable schedule, a predictable routine takes away all of the decisions that you'll have to make in the future. Also, you can eat more than once a day. I just experimented, right? And I also found out that 2 meals a day is good for me as well. But here's what I found. 5 times a day, you eat 2 meals a day, and then those 2 days in the week, you don't eat shit, you just drink coffee. You'll be slimmer, you'll think better, you'll be more hungry, which is good. You want the hungriness, you want hunger, you want those things for you to make more things. Eating once a day at the end of the day could work for you. It worked for me, but it wasn't sustainable. I think I was, no, not I think, a lot of people thought that I was skinnier. I wasn't feeling better, etc., etc. What about weekends? Well, funny thing is, you'll achieve more in a year if you do not go back 104 days a year. Which means treat weekdays or weekends the same as you do weekdays. Still wake up at 4 a.m. Still get to bed at 9. Still do all of these things. Still do your routine. The only thing that if you're a student, the only thing that should only be different is that Later in the day, you'll have school. So you'll have more things to do if you wake up at 4. So what I did is I allocate at least 4 hours at the start of the day to do the big tasks, which is script a video or film a video, edit a video, not concept. Concepting a video is not a big task. Or when, if you're a student, do a big project that can't take 2 hours. This big project will take 5 hours. There's a lot of big projects like that you can't really do in the weekday. You can only do in the weekend. There's a lot of projects like that. And then after that, you exercise twice a day. Of course, I still did because I was doing Taekwondo, man. I still had to prepare for this fight. But the thing is, I didn't really think that I wasn't really concerned with my Taekwondo at the time. I was more concerned about my leadership award, about my thing, because it was the thing that mattered most to me. These things, and now I have that. I now have these, and yeah, feels good every time I look at it. Now, because of that, you'll have a lot of free time. If you're just a student and if you're just training. But what I did is the work just didn't end. I was always scripting videos, I was always filming videos, I was always editing videos, I was always trying to grow YouTube channels. It may not be this one, but I was always trying to do those, right? And it just the work just did not end. But if the work ends for you, right? You've already done all of the tasks. You should try cleaning yourself, cleaning the room, because Jordan Peterson always said that if you clean, the first thing if you want to get out of the rut is clean your room. Jordan Peterson's 12 rules for life, right? And yeah, weekends are barely 100 years old. A concept that's barely 100 years old, right? But if you actually want it hard enough, well, you can work more, right? And of course, Sundays were different because you work here at this time block, you eat at this time block, exercise at this time block, and then split it at the end where you go to church and then another time block here, eat, and then another time block of work there. It's very fucking tiring, right? It's very tiring. But yeah, you'll live with that routine. I did although it was miserable, man. I'm not gonna lie, it was miserable. I didn't like any part of it. The only part of it that I did like was, no, you know what? I didn't like any part of it at all. I didn't want to like make these videos. I didn't want to fucking go to school, but I still did it anyway. You know, that's the concept of being a man. Of being a man, you do it, especially when you don't feel like it. In fact, I'd argue, those are the times when you should push more, when you don't feel like doing it. Because the harder you work, the more capacity you have for working. It's very much like a muscle. The harder you train, the harder you can train. The more you work, the harder you can work. That's it. And of course, you've probably guessed it, but I didn't have friends. And that's sad to say. Very sad to say. But I have a big standard for friends. That's what I say. Of course, I'm social inside of the school. I'm social, but I don't have friends, right? Because if you aren't social and you're doing all of these things, You're just a fucking weirdo, man. You don't have anyone to talk to, anyone you can relate to. And I didn't have anyone I can relate to. That's the thing. Because I got invited to all of these events, these birthdays, these let's go here, let's go there, let's go to the mall, let's go to shopping, let's go do this. And I just said no every single time. And then eventually, I didn't even get invited. And you know, no, that's not fine. It hurts a lot. When you don't get invited to these things, you see all of these people's stories, and then you'll see that your friend that they hate gets invited, but you don't. Hurts a lot. But it's just that I can't relate to them, man. They aren't like me. They're, and I have a standard for myself. I judge myself. I think of myself very highly, and because I think of myself very highly, I judge other people by what they say, but what their actions do. I judge other people by their actions, not by what they say. I want to build my goals, right? Build it one step at a time, and they just aren't that. They just wanted to drink, wanted to do this, hedonistic things. Maybe if I even if maybe I fucking if I went too close to them, I would have probably started drinking more, smoking marijuana, and yes, smoking marijuana is bad. Really, smoking marijuana is bad. Drinking more, smoking marijuana, smoking cigarettes, doing vape, all of these hedonistic things, I probably would have done, to be honest, if I went with them, I would have done. But I didn't. And I was lonely for a very long period of time until I met my best friend, which is, my best friend, we train together, we share the same political views, we bounce off each other because we're very different. Even though 99% of what we think, we agree on, except for the 1%, which is about religion, about, you know, intersexual dynamics, male female dynamics, those things. Those we don't agree on. But otherwise, he still has a goal and he's trying to build everything up by himself as well. So was two of us. Cool, right? We've gone through a lot. But other than that, I cannot relate to what other people were doing. Because I asked them, what do you want to do? He said, oh, I want to be a millionaire. Want to be a millionaire, right? I say, he says that, but I don't see him taking any sort of action in that field whatsoever. You say you want to play guitar, you say you want to be in a band, but you practice guitar 20 minutes a day. So do you even really want to play guitar? Do you even want to be a millionaire? Do you even want to get rich? And like, and not and not being a millionaire is fine, bro. Not having big audacious dreams is fine. Just don't tell yourself that you want it and then not do it, man. To me, it's just fake as hell. It's fake. And I couldn't relate to it at all. I could only relate to the people that I met online, or the people, the influencers online, like Alex Hormozy, like Hamza Ahmed, like Andrew Tate. These were the only people that I could really only relate to online that aligned with my values as a man of building great character, because all they wanted was fun. And I, I, I don't think that men should have fun. I didn't grow up to always have fun. You know, especially men. Men shouldn't grow up with a lot of fun in their lives. I think men should have a lot of struggle. A lot of struggle. right? A lot of getting punched in the face and then getting back up, because that's where you build your strength. But I digress. I did not have a lot of friends. I didn't have a lot. I made one or maybe two friends who I can call, who's fucking the best quality, right? But I didn't have a lot of friends, but I achieved much more than any of them combined, alone. And people want what other people have, but they aren't willing to do what those people are willing to do. People say they want to do that with honors. People say they want to get with high honors. People say they want that, taekwondo, that leadership award, but they aren't doing anything. They envy me. But what they fail to realize is, if they envy me, or if they work hard as much as they envy me, then they would have already gotten all of these awards. They would have already been my competitor instead of my fan, right? They would have been my competitor instead of my fan. But no, 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 no. They want, when someone's flying up, when someone's flying high in the sky, right? What they want to do is to jump, right? And then pull that guy back down to to the level of their mediocrity. They don't want to, when they see someone flying high, they don't get inspired. No, no, no. They don't think that, oh, I'll also jump higher as well so that I can fly. They think, how can I make this guy get down to my level of mediocrity? And they're crabs in a bucket, but they don't realize they have their own wings, right? They're just pulling each other down, and losers focus on winners, and winners focus on the goal. And I didn't, which is why I didn't really care at all about them. At the time, I didn't care, but now looking back on it now, fuck them, man. And I'm specifically talking about this one gay bastard who throws a lot of shit behind my back, but can't in front of my face, because he knows I'll fucking beat him up. I won't hesitate. He knows it. And he can't come up to my level because he doesn't know how to. He just knows how to bring people down. And which is why I didn't really make a lot of friends, because, dude, fuck, I didn't want that. I knew that friends in this geographical location are not the friends that I would like. They were low quality, which wasn't their fault. They didn't build their character enough. Actually, yeah, it isn't their fault, because I won't blame them if they don't know that they have to build their character up. But if they do know, then I will blame them. Instead of chasing my goals, if I had friends like them, I would be chasing girls, alcohol, marijuana, all of these illegal shit. And I saw that future, and I didn't want that future at all. I didn't want to be friends with them, to be honest. Even, but I was still lonely. I was still lonely, man. Most men don't get that you have to work hard for it first, right? Most men don't get that the timeline is drastically different for us, that you need to struggle first to earn the respect of other people, to earn the skill sets that you'll have for you to get rich. Most men don't know that. They don't know that. That's why they always want to have fun, 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 fun. And that's why I won't have fun, because I know I'll get ahead. You know, on the concept of weekends, Friday nights, if they, on Friday nights, this is the level, right? If they, most likely, if they drink, that's this day wasted. And then tomorrow, it's this day Wednesday wasted, right? But you, if you focus on your goals, you're improving here. And then tomorrow, you're also focused on your goals, you're improving here. That's the reason why I got so far ahead. I didn't waste any single time. I didn't waste it on doing all these hedonistic things. But I gained strength. And I got punched in the face, I got kicked in the face a lot. And by that I grew strength. Because strength isn't acquired by never getting punched. It's acquired by getting punched, getting down, and then always, always, always getting back up as well. And that's what you need to have if you want all of these recognitions. And there's more certificates, right? I have a lot more here. A lot more here. But I don't have any more positions. I don't have any more space for it. It's just I'm suffering from success. That's basically it, right? And that's the video. Thank you.